Bro, they out there busting down. Bro, they busting down out there. Hey, man, we about to see what's going on. Y'all see what the title about. Man, if y'all like the video, like, comment, and subscribe out there. Bro, they was busting down out there. Y'all probably got in here, but I'm letting you know.
Last Halloween, a Memphis man was sentenced to more than 100 years in prison. This man took the stand in his own defense and referred to himself as a self-proclaimed serial killer. Later, we discuss his story. A man who wanted his pregnant girlfriend deceased because she allegedly confessed to murders he had shared with her during intimate conversations.
I don't even know how to take that in. I don't even know how to take that in. Come on, let's be for real, bro. You told her. You told her. Bro, when y'all break up or you do something dirty, she can get dirty back. And she did it. And she did it. What you thought that was? I mean, certain girls, yeah, that make them feel, at the time, she probably was loving it. Oh, I'm having me a murder man on me. No.
Hours later, he went to Facebook to send his condolences. These disturbing behaviors may run deeper than we realize. This man is also the nephew of someone who became a household name in Memphis for all the wrong reasons. A man who killed his brother, niece, and nephew while attempting to murder everyone in the home, known as the Leicester Street Murders. Today we discuss both cases, send love and condolences to all victims, and try to understand these troubled minds, keeping our discussion organized in chronological order. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I won't give you no angle, I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
Man, like, comment, and subscribe to this video if y'all messing with it. This is some cuckoo stuff. I'm for real though. I can't do all the yellow because.
Jump right to it. March 3rd, 2008, the Memphis Police Department got a call to the 700 block of Leicester Street, Memphis, Tennessee.
Right.
With the first 48 at their side. Upon arriving, the police would find 6 bodies inside a home, deceased in various areas. 4 adults and 2 children. Ooh. The Memphis police director at the time, Larry Godwin, said that murder scene inside the 700 block of Leicester was one of the worst homicide experiences investigators had to witness. Now, the 4 adult victims was identified as 30-year-old Cecil Dotson, who was also the man who rented out this home, his girlfriend and mother of his kids, 27-year-old Marissa Williams, another young couple who was friends of the couple we just mentioned, 33-year-old Holland Seal, and 22-year-old Sandria Robertson. 2 of Cecil and Marissa's kids didn't make it. 4-year-old Samario Dawson and 2-year-old Cecil Dawson Jr. Now 3 more kids were seriously injured, but managed to survive, thank God. The oldest was 8, CJ, who we'll later hear from, 5-year-old Cedric, and a 2-month-old baby named Sanaya. Now the details in these murders were gruesome.
Bro, I don't even gotta say nothing. This man is sick.
Adults were shot to death, and the kids were stabbed to death, even the ones who had survived. There was another young girl who was supposed to be there because she lived there with her dad, Sierra Dawson, who was just 8 years old. She got sick at school, and Cecil Dawson decided to take his daughter to her mom's for the weekend, which possibly saved her life.
Wow.
There was one man who was also in that home, and he was left unharmed. A man was only home for 7 months prior to this gruesome murder. The brother of Cecil Dawson, Jesse Dawson. He told police at first he hid in the closet, and police believed him. They put him in protective custody. But the thing is this, CJ, who was just 8 years old and stabbed in the throat and head, he survived. And a month later, he was able to tell detectives everything they wanted to know, seeing the gruesome details of him losing his dad being shot in the face, and him being stabbed by his uncle and in the head after saying he loved him. And a month later, Jesse Dawson would confess to police and his mother.
You left the house that night on CJ's bike, right?
Yes, sir.
You knew 9 people were in that house, either dead or alive. You said you thought they were dead, right?
Yes, sir.
You didn't call 911, right?
Yes, sir.
You didn't call your family, right?
Yes, sir.
You didn't call anyone at all that night, right?
Yes.
At all.
Yes.
You go to 1403 Silver and you put that bike in Sheila's shed, right?
Yes.
Can you agree on that?
Yes, sir.
You go to bed, right?
No, sir.
You got into bed, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you go to work the next day?
No, sir.
On Sunday, while your family was in that house, you say dead, you didn't call anybody that day either, right?
No, sir.
Now,
Said he told him
this
he
entire
loved him and
time,
stabbed him in his head.
you're living, right? You're living life on Sunday? Is that right?
No, sir.
Well, I mean, you're walking around, right?
Yes.
Went to dinner Sunday night, right, with, I think, Fat?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And during that entire time, did you call the police then? Just to let them know your family's bodies were in.
Bro, tell me this, though. If you... I wonder how jail go in that type of note. Like, is you in... Like, eventually... Are you going to be in a cell with somebody else? And if so, they should keep people like that do stuff like this, yo. Yo, keep them in a cell with somebody that's damn near like them. And they minimize the security. Because, like, to put somebody in a cell with somebody like him, yo, bro, to know his story, like, I wouldn't even want to hear what's the reason to you wanting to do that, bro. I wouldn't even want to know what.
Just so they could have a proper burial. Did you let them know that?
No, sir.
Okay. And let's just take a look at something here for a second. Your Honor, if I could publish Exhibit 3. I mean, let's just be honest about what we're talking about here.
Need a couple of hours for this shit. I ain't paying no.
Stayed up.
You stayed up?
Yes, sir.
Did you call the police?
No, sir.
Did you tell your family about call the police?
No, sir, I didn't.
Then you go to bed, you get up and you go to work Monday morning, right?
Yes.
I mean, you heard the testimony of that, right?
Yes, sir.
You went to work with your father.
Yes, sir.
Did you tell your father about that?
No, sir.
Did you tell him that his son was lying dead in the living room?
No, sir.
Did you tell your mother that her grandchildren were dead? Because you said you thought they were dead, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you tell them they were lying dead in that house, rotting?
No, sir.
I mean, you knew how many days had passed, right?
Yes, sir.
Since you saw that.
Yes, sir.
And in fact, you weren't even the one who helped somebody discover that, were you? I mean, you didn't call the police on March 3rd, did you? And say, hey, something happened a couple days ago. My entire family and some innocent people are in a home at 722 Leicester Street. Were you the one who made that call?
No, sir.
Okay. So you still weren't planning on telling anybody about what was in that house on March 3rd, were you?
No, sir.
Now, it sounds like you got an explanation for everything. So the jury doesn't have to deliberate about who poured the bleach on the rug, right? Because you just told them that you threw up in the sink because you had just seen that, right?
Yes, sir.
Because that made you so sick that you were able to eat the next day, go to work on Monday, and not let anyone know that they were in there, right?
I didn't eat.
You didn't eat?
No, sir.
Okay. But you did, pour the bleach on there. I know you were cleaning up after yourself. So the bleach is you, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the bike is you, the bleach is you, right?
Yes, sir.
We can agree on that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We can also agree, right, that you lied to your own family about the last time you saw your brother, right? I mean, you told them that.
Yes, sir.
You know, that he dropped you off and that Cecil and Hollis and E rode off into the sunset when they dropped you off at your girlfriend's house, right?
No, I didn't say Hollis and I said C.
You just said Cecil dropped you off.
Yes, sir.
At Sheila's,
Yes, sir.
your girlfriend's house.
Yes, sir.
But that wasn't true because you were hiding under this bed, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And let's talk about that for a second.
God dang, what kind of squeaky ass chair they in? They recording with that squeaky chair? They just stop moving.
This
Yo got on the I know I'm going to
Right
jail
here.
outfit.
That's the bed you got under?
Yes, sir.
For what?
Why didn't you run out the back door?
You can't get out that door.
You can't get out this door?
No, sir.
You heard the testimony of Tony Mullins that he walked through it, didn't you?
He needed that boat key to get through it.
And let me ask you another question. While you were in the back bedroom, you said you heard some shots, right?
Yes, sir.
How many?
2 to 3.
How many did you hear before you jumped under the bed?
It was 2 to 3.
2 or 3. Okay. What's that on the wall there in the back bedroom? Up there on the wall, to the left.
That's a phone.
It's a cordless phone, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
You didn't grab that and call 911 while you're under the bed?
No, sir.
How long did you say you stayed under there?
I didn't say how long I stayed under there.
Well, how long?
I said it was a while.
15 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour?
It was about, I ain't gonna say an hour. About 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Yes, sir.
And that's from the time you heard the first 2 shots?
That's in it all.
At all.
Mm-hmm.
Was it when the killers were cleaning up the shell casings?
No, sir.
Oh, so they had already done that when you walked through the living room.
If it was cleaned up, they had done it.
And you were under the bed when the killers were pulling Cindry's pants down. You were under the bed then too?
Yes, sir.
Because she looked like that picture, right, when you came out in the living room?
Yes, sir.
So you would have been hiding under the bed the entire time?
Yes, sir.
When you went into the bathroom, did you see CJ?
Which bathroom?
The bathroom where CJ was. You know what tub he was in.
You said bathroom. It's 2 bathrooms.
When you saw CJ, did you see the knife in his head?
I saw CJ laying in the tub.
Did you see the knife in his head?
No, sir. I ain't pay attention to all that. You're not paying attention to a knife in his head.
You're not paying attention to the knife in the head of your 9-year-old nephew?
I saw him laying in the tub. Yes, I saw him laying in the tub.
Well, did you go over and say, man, are you okay? Are you okay?
No, sir.
You didn't?
No, sir.
You thought he was dead?
Thought everybody in the house was dead.
Yeah, but why did you think he was dead?
I thought everybody in the house was dead.
I'm asking you, when you went into the bathroom and looked in that tub and CJ was in there, what did you do to determine he was dead?
I didn't do nothing.
Did you talk to him and say, man, are you all right?
No, sir.
What about the 2-month-old? You know she's not dead, right?
Yes, sir.
She's alive.
Yes,
Did
sir.
you go over to her and check her and see what was wrong with her?
No, sir.
Thank God.
And this is what you want the jury to believe.
That's what happened.
That's what happened.
Yes, sir.
This story you just told them, is that what you told your mom?
No, sir.
When you called and asked to see her, did you tell her this about hiding under the bed?
No, sir.
In fact, what you told her was, you were holding her hands, right? You agree to that?
Yes, sir.
Y'all were holding hands?
Yes, sir.
Because you wanted to see her, right? Because you had something to tell her, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
And you looked her in her eyes, and you said, Mama, I did it. Didn't you?
I told her, Mama, they trying to make me say I did this. She said, who? Who trying to make you say you did this? She said, give me some names. I need their names so I can get you some help.
Did you say to your mother, Mama, I did it?
Yes.
And did you tell her how you got into an argument with your brother. Did you tell her? I'm not saying it's true or not. I'm just asking you. Did you tell your mother about an argument that you made up?
Yes.
Okay. And did you tell her that the argument carried over into 722 Leicester Street? Did you tell her that? That Wayne kept shooting off at the mouth?
Yes.
And did you tell her that after he put his gun down, you just started shooting? Again, not saying that's true,
yes.
But did you tell her?
Yes.
Did you tell her how you left after you killed your brother? What'd you tell her?
She asked me, how did I get away? I told her on the bike.
The bike right here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And but you're agreeing, though, that you did ride that bike?
Yes, sir.
Just not to what you told your mother? Yeah, in other words, not true, what you told your mom. When
Yes,
you brought
sir.
her in, you lied to her.
Yes, sir.
Now, did you tell your mother that you grabbed Hollis's gun?
Can't recall.
Can't recall.
Can't
Okay,
recall.
that's fair. Okay. Did you tell your mother that you killed the kids?
Yes, sir.
Why did you tell her that? What did you tell her? What reason did you give your mother for killing your nephews and her grandchildren? What did you tell her? Again, I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying, what did you tell her? What reason?
I think I told her they saw me.
They saw you.
Yes, sir.
Doing what?
I just told her they saw me.
Saw you killing your brother, and maybe saw you killing Sindri, right? Not that that happened, but that's what you meant when you said they saw me.
Yes, sir.
Lieutenant Armstrong kept you in the room for quite a while, didn't he?
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, it's like 4 or 5 hours, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
About that.
It's all recorded.
Okay. All right. But it was a long time, right?
Yes, sir.
And isn't it true that you...
Bro, I know I'm just letting this video ride, but it's like honestly nothing I can say. It's nothing I can say, bro. Nothing. Like, this man did that.
Up with your story. What you just told the jury was a lie.
Yes,
You
sir.
stuck with the last time you saw your brother alive.
Yes, sir.
All the way up to the point when he plays the tape of CJ identifying you, right? I mean, you just told the jury that you heard CJ say Uncle Junior, right?
Yes, sir.
It was after that fact when you told him what you did, right?
Yes, sir. But again, as I done stated, there's a whole tape recorded.
Of what?
The confession, as y'all say. Y'all say it.
I'm not saying anything. You said you confessed.
It's a whole thing. I was there, what, 7, 8 hours?
It was actually 5, but...
5? Well, why the jury can't see the 5 hours of that and let them determine if was it a confession or was I threatened by Lieutenant Armstrong?
Were you threatened by Lieutenant Armstrong?
How you saw the tape? How you saw
I'm
the 5
asking you. We
hours?
don't need to see the tape. I'm asking you. You can tell because you're under oath. Did he
Yes.
threaten you?
Yes.
Okay. He pounded on the table, right?
That
He
was part of it.
screamed at you, right?
But let them kill your mother ass. So yes, I confess.
To killing women and children
Yes. Yes, I did.
in the building. You know that, right? Because they went to go get her.
Yes, she was at the safe house.
Where you had been, right?
Yes.
In protective custody.
Yes.
So while you're sitting in that interrogation room, your mama's on her way, right?
Yes.
And then she gets there, right?
Yes.
And then she grabs you, your hands, her son. You love your mother, right?
Yes, love my whole family.
Absolutely. And she said, Are they trying to put this on you, Junior? You remember her saying that, don't you?
No.
You don't remember her
No.
saying that?
She didn't say, are they trying to put this on you, Junior? When she came in there.
Well, Mr. Skane asked you if you've heard testimony. At what point in your mother's testimony did she say all that?
Get the tape. If you watch the tape,
Do you want us to play the tapes that we have?
the whole tape, not what you have. See, you got what you want. Let the jury see the 5 hours. Let them see everything. Not what you want them to see. Let them see everything.
Mr. Dodson, we just want the truth. That's what we
And that's
want.
what I want. That's exactly what I want.
We want the truth.
That's exactly what I want. I want the exact same thing y'all want. The truth. I've been
For nothing.
for nothing.
Well, I have one last question for you, okay? And this comes from CJ. Why did you stab him after he told you that he loved you? Why did you do that?
I did. Why would somebody tell him to say that?
Nothing further.
I know it.
Read it right.
2 years later, then 35 years old, Jesse Dotson was sentenced to 6 life sentences and scheduled for death row. February of 2024, 14 years later since being convicted and 16 years later since the crime first occurred, Jesse Dotson asked the judge to be resentenced. He filed a 249-page petition claiming he falsely confessed to the murders because of threats and pressure to solve the case was enormous, because the involvement of the TV show, quote, First 48, and, quote, pressured Memphis police to make a conviction. It also says that the 11-year-old survivor in the massacre, his nephew, who's named Dotson as the killer, was on a mixture of mind-altering medications, and his memory was not reliable. Speaking of his nephew, let's listen to what CJ had to say 16 years later, now 24.
You know what's crazy? When I seen a video of a woman killing her son because she thought it was a demon, and it was the same thing. She used to say that her mother helped her become something, and her mind was just altered because of all the pills and stuff she was taking. Man, what medicine was he on? And what he was on, it wasn't even medicine, man. That was drugs.
Years old.
To say, kill him, get him gone off this earth. He's a monster.
The niece of Jesse Dotson, filled with anger. Dotson is serving time on death row for killing 6 people, including multiple family members and children in 2008.
I walked in there, I seen him holding a gun, a revolver. I know what it was. And he was shooting my dad in the face.
Jesse Dotson's nephew, CJ Dotson, was there. He was only 9 years old at the time.
I was his first child victim he started on. Before he went to my brothers and them, he started on me first. So when I looked him in his face, I told him I loved him. He had his pocket knife like this in his hand and was looking at me with, a little tear in his eye, but he had the little evil look on. And he sliced me across the throat.
He says he tried to call 911, but dropped the phone when he saw his uncle.
Stand right there in the doorway. I had the phone, I dropped the phone. I was acting like I was looking for something. And I was like, I need to go to the restroom. I was trying to go to the restroom. He let me go to the restroom. As soon as I was about to whip it out and use the restroom, he stuck me in the head with a butcher knife. And I was playing with it. And I fell in the tub and I was playing with it because I was trying to pull it out, but it wouldn't budge.
CJ was taken to the hospital that night. Meanwhile, Sierra Dotson says she was sleeping at her relative's house, and that saved her life. She found out about the killings the next day. She says she was taken to protective custody with her uncle. At the time, he had not been arrested.
They didn't know who did it at the time. So they had to pick me up because it had to protect the custody. That's when I left in. Went to protect the custody. My uncle was in protective custody with Jesse Dotson. We had 10 police officers outside the room. She called us back 10 minutes later. We sent the news, and my uncle's up on her. That's who killed him the whole time.
Jesse Dotson is now asking the court to set aside.
Let y'all know she is saying that she was with the guy the whole time. They in protective custody. They trying to figure out who did it. Whole time it was him.
Conviction and sentence. The 249-page petition argues improper police tactics and false testimony, claiming CJ's testimony was altered by drugs.
I know he did it, and I seen him, and all he doing is lying to the media, the blogs, just to get out and do more killing.
Today, CJ and Sierra Dotson released balloons to remember their loved ones, exactly 16 years later.
Just to let them know that they ain't forgotten. They still here with me.
In South Memphis, Alan Self, WREG.
A couple months after CJ gave that interview, he had a cousin who from Tennessee and compared himself to the mass murderer of the Halloween movies, Michael Myers. He was sentenced to more than 100 years in prison on Halloween Day. His name was Joshua Dotson, and just this past Thursday, October 31st, 2024, he was given 102 years for the murders of his girlfriend, 19-year-old Jamisha Coverson, and her unborn child. She was pregnant. He was found guilty of 2 counts of first-degree imp back in August. According to Fox 13, his lawyer attempted to get concurrent 51-year prison terms, meaning he would serve both at the same time, while admitting he will die in prison no matter what the court imposes. The judge, however, gave him consecutive sentences. The judge also reportedly said that his girlfriend's demise was one of the saddest situations he's ever seen in his career, saying Dotson, quote, never, end quote, showed any remorse, while adding, the jury got it right. Now, according to Shelby County District Attorney's Office, Dotson fatally shot Coverson, his girlfriend, at her home in South Memphis in 2020, following an argument about a Facebook post and her pregnancy. Just 2 hours after, Dotson allegedly posted a memorial for her on Facebook, telling her to, quote, fly high, end quote, with the DA saying authorities believe that post was a calculated attempt to distance himself from the crime. Her family reportedly got a call from her moments before she was shot, in which Coverson said she was leaving Dotson. It was the last time they heard from her. Now, Dotson took the stand in his own defense during his trial, where he called himself a quote-unquote serial killer. He also reportedly claimed he killed Coverson for, quote, snitching on him, end quote, about 3 additional murders, and said, quote, I am Michael Myers, end quote. The 3 other murders he said happened between 2019 and 2020. In August, the district attorney's office said the cases against him for the other murders were pending, but charges had not been filed. The DA's office said one incident was a double homicide. It only took the jury 45 minutes to come back with the verdict, guilty.
Dotson did not show any remorse during his testimony. During the trial, I caught him sleep several times. He was getting his rest while we were getting justice.
A self-proclaimed serial killer sentenced to more than 100 years in prison for the death of a teenager and her unborn baby. In August, Fox 13 reported that a jury found Joshua Dotson guilty for these 2 murders.
Now, we also...
Man, we don't even need to hear no more about it, man. Man, that is crazy. That is crazy. Hey, man. All I can say is, be careful, man. Y'all women gotta be more careful, man. Like, don't be letting these men. If they really showing you red flags, I'm sorry. You gotta get the hell out of the way. You gotta get out of the way. Because if he's telling you he don't want the baby and all this other stuff, or whatever reason that he was fussing about, he killed her over this. And like, what if he had them, from that mugshot, look like he already had them tattoos on her face, so. We see what type of guy she wanted. Hey, man, I'm going to keep it moving.